There's like double talking going on.
Yeah, can you hear us just fine, David?
Yeah, now I can.
Well, here's the thing, David. We were realizing that I could just call you in and I could put you on a Zoom call and you can be right in front of us.
Nice. Well, yeah. We're not recording now, are you?
No.
This is a two-party state, by the way.
Actually, I am recording. I can't lie. I'm so bad. But I'm just, testing. It's working really well, by the way. This is the first phone call I put through here.
Yeah, you're helping us figure out some actual.
Testing it.
Yeah,
it's working really nicely.
Yeah, we're just doing testing right now. This isn't live to straight to YouTube or Facebook right now at all.
I was just at the pharmacy reminiscing about more innocent times.
So what was the text message you sent? Sean didn't see it.
It's remember in more innocent times when double fisting meant nursing 2 drinks at the same time.
That was the innocent times.
Yeah.
It just popped in my head for no reason. I was not thinking about any of those things.
It's because you have a beautiful mind.
Oh my goodness. The savant of David is just sitting at the pharmacy going like, remember simpler times.
It's funny too, because if you think about like working in like movies and stuff like that, every time somebody's talking about a DP, and you're just like, ooh.
That one's changed significantly.
Like,
that's different now.
And now you're bringing up traumas because DP is my initials. And whenever someone asks me they giggle. And know what I did? I did that to my son. His initials are DP too.
Oh, you savage.
The sins of the father.
I did not learn.
Jerk.
That's not even learning. That is actively repeating.
Like, I had to go through this.
Maybe it's a boy named Sue kind of thing.
Yeah, you want to make him stronger through DP?
Yeah.
That's weird, dude.
Well, you know what, David? You know what? I'm sad you're not here. You will be missed.
I know. Me too.
We'll see you next time.
1, 2 and freeze. Don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze. Don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze. Don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. Don't nobody move. 1, 2 and freeze.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Chill Regular. My name is Jonesy, and with me today is Matt and Shawnee Boy. We are missing our BFF, David, because he's out doing weird parenting things.
Taking care of the little ones, the grommets.
The grommets, the grums, the groms, So...
Nailed it.
I'm like, how do I come back to this? How do I come back? Wait, quick. Wait.
Hold it.
Are we there?
You fucking stuck the landing.
Go. Stop.
I really did. I literally...
Green light, red light.
Are we good? Are we now? Are we here?
Yeah.
We're going now?
Yeah, we're
back.
here.
And
We're all in.
Oh, man. The week right now feels very, very slow so far. It's already a Wednesday, but I feel like it's Friday, but not in the excitement type of way. Like Friday morning, we're just like, God, I want to get through this day.
Absolutely. And I think it's because the world may be going back into shutdown.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Because no one will wear a fucking mask and be an adult.
I don't want to wear a mask.
Right before...
It infringes on my freedom.
Right?
Yeah, he's like, screw you. It's fake anyway.
It's like, what? Like, is it really that bad? Just like wearing a mask?
It's just
I don't
literally.
believe in diseases.
Yeah, and it's about common courtesy, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
This is how a courtesy.
I think it's better for people to wear the masks anyways. I don't want to look at most people's ugly mugs regardless.
You know what I found about people wearing masks? A lot of people have really pretty eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're playing Russian roulette if you're a single human being. It's like, ooh.
Look at those
Pull that mask
eyes,
off. Looks like
know.
fucking Melina from Mortal Kombat with a Cheshire King.
Just keep the mask on. Do you see that
Little
picture?
Baraka teeth going on right underneath there.
I don't want it.
No,
See
but
that?
your eyes are so beautiful, but those teeth are just... Oh, my God.
Did you see that picture circulating around social media? It's got a mask with a hole in the middle with a condom sticking through it.
That's impressive.
You never have to see a face again.
Oh, my God.
Just those pretty, pretty eyes.
I've seen a bunch of different masks,
I almost
too.
just puked right now. I'm not going to lie. That was really aggressive.
Only because I was looking at you when I said it.
You really did.
He was locked in.
I was trying not to make eye contact.
I mean, I feel like because of all this stuff going on, you get some really ingenuitive looking, simple things. Sorry. Oh, shit. We broke Sean?
I think so. What is happening?
It's either he's choking on that sangria.
No, I'm fine.
He's good, apparently.
I'm fine.
No
Keep
more
going, carry
pineapple
on.
for you, sir.
Carry on.
I have found some pretty cool apparel masks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
throughout. Have you found any really neat ones that were just like, ooh, that's kind of fun?
I saw one guy working at Home Depot here, and he had one that looked like an Oni mask.
That's cool.
You know, like a Japanese like demon face kind of thing, and just from like the nose down. It was super cool, like a fucking character out of Mortal Kombat or something.
Yeah.
But it was pretty awesome. And I have seen ones that are like that where it lights up when you speak.
What?
That's
through the
obnoxious.
mouth.
I would punch that person in the mouth and make that light
What?
stop.
I don't
think
care.
That'd be really cool.
I like glowy. I like
know.
glowy
Why
lights.
not?
That is the equivalent of being like, I'm ugly and can't talk about anything important, so please look at these pretty lights. That's all I'd be able to see if I fucking saw that.
But at least you would be mesmerized.
I like it.
Lights. I
like stupid glowy shit.
Well, hey, glad always to be the odd one out.
I guess so, man.
Fucking rude.
What about you? You see anything cool?
The only, I mean, you know, there's a lot of them that have like, you know, people's faces or mouths or whatever on their mask. There was one, I can't think of the lady's Instagram, but she was hand drawing or stitching, I couldn't remember, like their dog, like into the mask. I thought that was really cute for dog owners or anybody like that. Like an actual, you'd
You
send her
mean
a
to tell
picture.
me? Yeah, thank you, Sean. You mean to tell me that?
I'm making
No,
a
not
face for
hold
those of
on.
you who
This
can't
is what
see
I think
us.
that you're. This is what my brain
made a
thinks your
face.
brain is thinking right
Oh
now.
my God.
Is that you think it's their mouth, like the dog's mouth? It's
No.
literally just a picture of the dog, like
That's
on the
not.
side.
That
no,
wasn't
we're
the
not-
problem.
no, that's not the problem at all.
No.
Well, then I don't care about either of you. Go home.
It's just. I mean, a mask is supposed to stop things from going through, and when you start poking it full of fucking holes,
Then she may stitch it. I mean, she's not stitch it. She may draw it on there. I know that she doesn't. I actually don't fucking know. She may stitch it. I don't know.
You know what? I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and say it's probably just one of those masks that has like a slot for the filter to like slide in. You
Yeah.
know, and so it's perfectly safe.
That's
That
very
sounds
kind of
amazing
you.
in that case.
Yeah, it's something really cute for dog owners. And if
Awesome.
you don't have a soul, or a cat, whatever you prefer, fuck you too.
If you have a cat and no dog, you might not have a soul.
No, it's guaranteed.
Sorry
'Cause the
for all
cat-
the cat lovers out
I
there.
don't care.
Because guaranteed every single time, cat takes your soul.
Yeah, they eat it and they add it to their own. They're
Is
like
that why they have-
Highlanders.
But is it only you can only collect 9 souls?
Yeah, that's how they refill the tank.
Gotcha. So they lose one. They're like, well, I guess I gotta go find another soul.
No, sometimes they like to wait a little bit and then they'll just go find some like old lady and it's like dinner time.
Gotcha, bitch.
So just stop and fuel up.
So you mean to tell me when a crazy cat lady has like 6 to 10 cats in her house, it's all those cats fighting for that old
They're all
lady's
just-
soul,
Yes,
just being
they-
like,
Who can get to it? That's why they're always so pissy when you like see a crazy cat lady.
oh my god, that makes a lot of sense. By the way,
I know.
that's my soul.
You should write a very short C-grade horror flick, like worse than Birdemic.
Called Soul
Birdemic.
Kitties.
Yeah,
No.
Soul Kitties. Oh god.
I mean, that sounds like a very C.
Now
grade
I almost
horror
threw
movie. Yeah. Well, this is why they pay me the big bucks. By the way,
Soul Kitty.
Soul Kitty. It could be a porno, but it's a C horror movie.
Or a jazz song.
It could also then
Or a jazz.
Or a jazz song.
a jazz
Soul
song.
Kitty.
Yeah, it's a horror movie or porno, not
Or the
definitely not a
new-
jazz song.
Yeah. Or the new Train song remix. Hey, Soul Kitty. What?
Here's the bad
No?
part. I
Okay.
could definitely see Train making that
Making
into a
that
song.
fucking song,
That's
yeah.
what would be just really sad.
Weird Al Yankovic just came out with Soul Kitty.
That'd be good. I think he would probably rock that shit.
And I would listen to it. So my wife ended up coming home a couple weeks ago.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank
She's a saint for doing it.
Oh my god, I am so grateful when she walks in that door. And I think my dog's excited. No, I'm fucking stoked. That she just walked through
You're like,
that goddamn
oh,
door.
you didn't leave me.
Oh, thank you.
you still love me.
She's still
Didn't
here.
forget I exist. now
Thank
there'll
you
be
so
somebody here to
much.
feed me.
Yeah. Whew. One of her patients gave her the best idea for a mask. And he was saying that, you know how everybody does the prints on the outside? He's like, but what if you do prints on the inside? And she's like, well, what the hell would you print on the inside? He's like, I don't know. Assholes and pussies and dicks. Yeah, exactly.
I can just imagine this guy tonguing his mask the entire day.
That's what I'm saying. Could you imagine just like one
a little
solid-
wet spot on the front of it.
Yeah, it's like, why is your mask so soggy? That's disgusting.
That's
what is
terrible.
the matter with you?
That is absolutely terrible.
But how
That's
interesting
a
would that-
horrible idea.
How interesting would it
It's
be?
not
right?
interesting.
I mean, it's kind of
No,
funny.
it's interesting.
It's very
not in-
interesting.
Listen,
We're talking about it.
Yet
There's
to
gotta be
feel
people that wanna buy this.
uncomfortable in any conversation we've
But
ever
that
had.
one?
But this image of some dude just licking the inside of
Okay,
his
so-
mask is kind of the most horrifying thing.
I mean, because you don't know. All you see is the tissue or the canvas moving or whatever.
You just
don't
see
know
the guy
what's
back there
happening.
going,
His eyes are just like, yeah, on
Can
the
we
inside.
not? Let's move on.
I
Can we
mean,
talk
Now,
about something better?
What if like maybe like adult toy companies would get on that bandwagon and actually put like
sweet Jesus.
molded silicone internals to the mask
Oh my god.
through which maybe you had to breathe?
So who was like? What's everyone's favorite cartoon show growing up here?
We finally found a subject where
Kirby's
Matt was
done.
uncomfortable.
Kirby ain't eating that.
We don't want to keep doing that.
Kirby ain't eating that.
Nope.
Nope. I
Nope.
spit that
Way
out. I spit and I quit that.
Your poor girlfriend. I swear to God. Jesus.
Cartoons.
What do that mean? Now I have questions for you, sir. What is she telling you that she's not telling me?
I don't even think your girlfriend's real. I've been hearing about her for years, and I've yet to meet her.
First off, I've known you for like a year and a half.
It feels longer.
Oh, I see you today. You brought it back around.
Yeah, it did.
Everybody's chewing on shit.
This is delicious, Sean. I'm so
Oh,
happy
yeah,
you
yeah.
brought this stuff in, man.
I'm glad.
So
I'm glad you
basically,
guys like it.
anybody who's listening, Sean created this lovely concoction with red wine, tonic water, and frutas. And it's pretty fucking delicious, I'm not gonna lie. Sadly, there's not
Thank
enough
you.
wine to make another one.
Well, you have more wine inside. I could make more.
So we'll be making more wine later. Please stick around.
And we'll be right back after these messages.
I think I know that we're gonna have like a traditional drink, a traditional beverage.
I like
for
that.
future
I
shows.
really do too. I think it'd be
That's
really
a great
fun.
idea. We can all each take turns doing the next one.
I'm not.
All right, well,
just
that's
enjoy
cool.
Oh, okay. You can just not contribute. No, actually, you contribute a lot, so I'm not gonna go down that road. I'm just gonna
What the
stop
fuck,
right there.
bro?
So sorry.
We'll bring snacks. You produce the show. That works.
That sounds like bullshit to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Chew your food. You fucking- you sound like that dude who probably wears that mask. Just
munching on the back of it.
Yeah,
munching real
on
hard.
the back of it. Just, oh, man.
wow.
Imagine that guy walking up to
Hearing
you.
both of your voices
Welcome.
make that noise and that sound, I
Welcome
felt
to disgusting
violated,
ASMR.
and I need to call Chris Hansen immediately.
That's actually something I cannot get into.
The ASMR stuff?
The ASMR stuff,
ASMR?
man. It's not.
I don't know what it is.
Oh.
Like, I've heard of it. I don't understand the concept behind it, I guess.
Sean, this is your field, bro.
Sean, for those who don't know, is a master. Can we call you master of knowledge of things involving kink or anything like that?
I mean, I wouldn't. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm very knowledgeable, and in many ways experienced.
Ooh.
Hi, mom. Hi, dad.
I see.
Why'd you say hi to your mom and dad?
If you're ever listening to this, I'm sorry for any scarring this may cause. But yeah, no, it's actually not really a kink thing as much as it is just something that people indulge in because they find it relaxing. For some people, it's kink, but honestly, when it comes to kinky stuff, there's somebody who likes literally anything. If it exists, there's a person out there who is probably aroused by it. Like the sound of rusty metal scraping against other rusty metal, or something like that. Or somewhere out there's somebody who's like fingernails on a chalkboard. Yes, please.
I mean,
So,
That actually doesn't bother me that much. But
no, they've never
I wouldn't
bothered me, but like
seek
to
it.
feel like,
or the sound of
like it.
someone chewing on tinfoil.
Well, first off, that hurts the teeth.
Right?
That just hurt my teeth.
No,
And anybody who's tried that shit as a kid, the moment you just said it, they're like,
You're like,
What are my teeth made of? What is this?
I'm just saying.
It's like kryptonite for your
I'm
mouth.
just saying. So, like, you can find somebody who's into anything, and I won't kink shame, but some of that shit's weird. But
what's the weirdest one you've encountered?
oh my god,
You don't have to say names, but if they're at this
And if
table,
this is your thing
named
out there in the
Gary,
podcast world, we hold no judgment. We're just mildly curious.
I once met somebody who enjoyed having like role play
Right.
where a woman would tell him about how she like basically just like running him over with a car repeatedly.
no, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Like he wanted to be a doormat, he wanted to be humiliated, but mostly he wanted a woman in high heels to drive a red sports car and run him over.
That is so
And
oddly
over
specific.
and over. Oh no, yeah, and there's stuff like that.
But what's interesting to me is like the psychology. Like, what is it about that particular thing that gets them kind of going?
So I never got too deep into what the guy got out of it. But if I'm going to make an assessment based on other experience that I have with that, I would say it's probably a humiliation kink.
Interesting.
He wants to feel low and worthless.
Does that
Degradation.
In my very little knowledge, I feel like that's usually associated with people who have a lot of power. Like they are in control of so much of their daily lives. They want to feel that kind of humiliation.
They made a whole
degradation.
show or movie series about it, right? Which was the.
If you say 50 Shades of Grey, I'm going to smack you.
I mean, isn't that what that was, right?
So that was meant mostly for, and I'm sorry if people like it. I'm sure
It's fucking
it had some
trash.
value, but from what I understand, because I didn't watch it, but
I did.
everything I've heard about it basically is this is
me that face.
really kinky for people who think that blowjobs are kinky.
Ooh.
They're not?
No.
First off, my only recollection of the movie is the one line where I don't even know her name, the actress.
Dakota something.
Dakota.
Not Fanning, but
Well, it's Goldie Hawn's and Kurt Russell's daughter, isn't it?
no.
She's somebody's daughter.
Yeah. Continue.
No, she has like a line in the movie where he tells her about a butt plug, and she has this. She's like in her mid-20s or something like that, and it takes place in this time and age. And she looks over, she goes, "What's a butt plug?" And the name says it all, there, dickhead. Like, what do you mean?
Numb nuts.
Like, what's a butt plug? Oh, you use it to stir your fucking corn. I don't know. What do you think it is?
Putting out
her name's
cigarettes.
Dakota Johnson.
Johnson.
Dakota
I thought
Johnson.
that's not nice. But yeah, who's she the daughter of?
Parents are Melody Griffith
Melanie Griffith.
and Don Johnson.
Ew.
Ooh,
Interesting.
All right. Well, okay.
Well, at least
They got that milk money.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, to answer what you asked before, yes, it's most commonly associated. Now, not always, but a lot of people who are in a position in life to have to be in control will seek out ways to release that control as an escape.
That just seems so very extreme, though. Do you want to be run over by a car multiple
No, that
times?
is a very
Sports
specific
car with somebody in
high heels. I love that the high heels are important because they'll never see it.
Like that was a very specific thing, and you asked for the weirdest. And I mean, it is by far the only time I've ever heard anything like that.
And you're like,
and I'm sure there are other people out there who like it, but that was the only encounter I've had with it, and that is, I would say, probably the rarest
I feel like
of kinks that I've heard of.
So okay, this is once again
That's anecdotal, mind
Right.
you. I'm not. I don't have stats to back this up, but
Sure.
and there comes knowledge again as I mumble my words. Apparently,
it's good wine.
I was about to say that's
such good
sangria.
wine. Yeah.
Sangria. de
I drink way more than that. I should be fine.
This kind of wrapped around back to the ASMR type of thing, right? Like, it's just something that I couldn't really get into, and I got introduced to it. There was a Super Bowl commercial where it was
scratching the microphone.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what it was. It was a girl in the middle of like rural Hawaii, and she has a microphone, and she's just talking really, really soft as she's telling everybody what she's going to be doing, and then it's going to be this thing where it's like, this is what ASMR is, and it's very sensitive to the. It's the weirdest thing, and I can't get into it. And so there's a lot of these weird ASMR type of videos coming out with it's like people eating, people putting their clothes on, people, breathing heavy, people
touching different materials.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In your experience, do you find that people who have very extreme kinks like that, do they find it difficult to have a relationship, like to maintain relationships? Like what?
No. I find that oftentimes the biggest contributing factor to a failed relationship when it comes to people with kinks is that they don't find other people who can help them find a healthy way to express that. Mm-hmm. So most often, a lot of these people are just like anybody else who wants to have a relationship. They just will get into one, not necessarily being patient enough. And this is not necessarily true. Again, these are generalizations, but they don't wait for the person who can share in what they need. And so they, for instance, if you're a kinkster in that lifestyle, somebody who is not in any way kinky is generally referred to as vanilla. And so somebody who's in the kink lifestyle might take a vanilla partner or partners just because they crave to have companionship, but then ultimately end up feeling unfulfilled, which, oftentimes leads to either a failed relationship or strife in the relationship or somebody doing something they don't want to do or cheating or breakup.
I just think that's all interesting, especially nowadays. I don't know how many of us have single friends, but from my single friends that I know, they all fucking hate dating. And it is the
Sounds horrible.
I mean, all I hear is just terrible horror stories, just like, people are unable to have a relationship. They have all these options, so they're just anytime anything bad comes up, or they got a hiccup in their relationship, they're like, all right, bye.
Well, I mean, that's down to individuals not having any ability to commit to anything.
Yeah,
or
but
fear.
I feel like that's fear is definitely a thing. But I mean, I don't know. From the rate I've been hearing it from people, it sounds like it happens way too often nowadays. Just people, this generation at least, having all these dating apps and all these things that are very more or less superficial.
Yeah, I think it's because of the availability of other humans with which to test the waters. It kind of cheapens it a little bit. Yeah. I think also that certain values in a relationship, that kind of dynamic has drastically changed in the last decade or two, where I think people just don't have the same old traditional value. And me, as somebody who has non-traditional relationships, talking about traditional values, I know it sounds like a juxtaposition.
You can still have traditional. It
sounds antithetical. But it's not actually. In my relationships, I still hold true to very traditional values as far as dedication to the relationship, working on it, healthy communication, things like that. Mm-hmm. I just also am not monogamous, and neither is my partner. And so we have multiple relationships that are stereotypically, they hold those traditional values where we commit to at least certain amounts of effort to communicate, make things work. And in fact, I would say that in non-traditional relationships, it is a must to have communication on a level above anything you've probably ever been used to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, that just sounds, I'm not gonna lie, dating one person, I love my girlfriend. But dating is so tiring. I could not imagine trying to juggle four, or I don't know how many relationships you have, but just trying to keep all of the things about her in mind and make sure I not do the right things, but I'm very attentive and understanding and, doing all that for one person. For me, could be because I'm a fucking child in some things. I don't know.
Right.
I don't think so. But, that sounds just very exhausting. So I just don't, it's impressive.
Well, it's not for everybody, I think the most, by the way, I never do anything as a rule. Everybody always knows everything that's going on. I don't do that. Well, if you don't ask, then it's okay. Or if I don't know about it, then it's fine. Just don't tell me. No, I want to know. I want to be there for my partner. I want my partner to be there for me, because that's actually one of the main benefits, I would say, is that, we have that safety net in each other. So if she goes out and meets a guy and, they spend some time together and it doesn't quite go the way they want and they end up splitting up, she has me there for support and, like a shoulder to cry on, and then that's fine. Then we just kind of go on it without that fear of being alone after rejection or alone after a failed relationship. It kind of frees you to be a lot more adventurous. Not necessarily take more risks, but I think more willing to accept opportunities that come your way. And I think that's great, personally.
I don't know, man. I could never think about my wife going off, getting her box munched on by another dude.
What is that?
No. I mean, I get where he's going with this, because that's what runs through your head.
Yeah, 100%. And the other thing for me is, I think it's very shallow, but I think the only other reason why I'd want to potentially, and this is very, very minimal, and I think this is maybe, and you guys can tell me because we're all dudes here, but the only reason why I'd ever want to go date, quote unquote, other people is so we could just fuck. I don't want another relationship with somebody else.
And that's fine. I would say that being in poly does actually, as it's not necessary, but you can just also be open rather than accepting the emotional connection. You can just be a swinger basically and be in it for the sport of it.
That's probably the closest thing I'd ever be, because it's detached, because I don't want to date anybody else. I don't want to be with anybody else. I don't want to bring anybody else into the other mix.
Well, and ultimately that's the fear, right? That's the fear, right? That this other guy, potentially, right? That you're thinking of munching your box. You know,
It's not mine, it's hers, but I don't know.
Sure, right. But let's face it, right? Part of that jealousy is an animal instinct. Like, that's my territory.
Oh, yeah.
That's mine, and I don't want somebody else to come in here and take it from me.
I think it's a
I don't
primal.
think so.
I would say
No?
primal.
No,
I would say
not for me anyway.
I would
Not
say it's
for
a
me.
primal feeling. I think
For you, it would be primal?
I wouldn't even say just for me. I think
I'm asking, for you, would it be primal? Would it be that fear of some other guy coming in and taking what's yours? And I know. Look, let's detach from the social norms of, well, I don't own my woman. I mean, like, we're animals, we're men. You know, obviously, there's a part of us that is that animalistic. I put my ugly bits in that. It's mine. You know.
And to be honest, the male figure is fucking kind of gross.
Well, we're totally built for
Ours
function,
is,
not form.
I mean, ours are, guys.
Function over
There's
form.
some decent looking dudes out there with some bodies.
You can fuck off with that.
I'm just-
rude.
Why is that? I'm just saying.
We're all handsome.
I mean, up top, probably. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Oh boy. One aspect for me is I think there's this aspect that I don't think she would. That's one thing. I don't think she'd be up for it. So it never really
Right.
crosses
Well,
my mind.
obviously, this is a hypothetical.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Not obviously. I presume you're monogamous.
Yes. Okay. There was one point where, I mean, I was dating somebody and she was fine with me seeking, pleasure elsewhere if she wasn't around or anything like that. But it didn't really appeal to me. And it could be very much one of those things where, like, since it was available, I didn't want to do it anymore. I don't know if there's a taboo, like, oh, what I'm doing would be wrong, so I want to do it. Whereas opposed to at that moment, it was like, yeah, if you want to, go ahead. And I was like, no, I don't really want to.
Forbidden fruit being twice as sweet and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can answer that question 100% simply because I have vacillated between, like, being fine with it, being like, if this person makes her happy, like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
that's part of it. And then the other part being like, I'm going to kick this dude in his teeth.
Yeah. Well, so here's my little disclaimer. Even poly people can be jealous. Jealousy stems from insecurity mostly.
Right.
And a certain level of possession. And as a poly person, there can be cheating. For instance, if you don't communicate well. So there's a lot of, like, misnomers about, if you're polyamorous, you can't cheat, or you don't get jealous, or that if you're polyamorous, you're effectively, no matter what, cheating on your partner, and that they're not okay with that. And all that is not necessarily true. Really what it comes down to for, like, my partner and I is that, for one, it's very convenient for either of us because I don't always have time to give her, and she doesn't always have time to give me. And that's not because of other partners that we have. That's because we're busy people. And for her to have somebody who she can have a connection with while I'm busy doing anything else, I mean, it really actually helps me out a lot because it frees up a lot of my time.
Nice. Yeah.
And she's still getting what she needs from, like, another human being. And I'm not really jealous about it because I'm very confident in myself and my relationship.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
I haven't always been. I've had time.
You tell me there was, like, a grace period?
There's been times when I was very jealous. Usually when the relationship's new and I don't really know the person that well.
Yeah.
And I do tend to get to know the person. And if they are decent people, then I tend to get a lot more comfortable a lot more quickly. I tend to get along with anybody who she gets along with really well. I tend to get along with really well as well. And it makes it easier.
Well.
Well. All right. But I also don't hesitate to tell her when I think a guy she's hanging out with is a total fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
And there have been a decent amount where she's like, I think he's really nice. I'm like, nah, he's a fucking asshole.
Because you have a pussy, that's why he's being really nice.
That is also true.
And she's like, no, you just got to meet him. And I'm like, no, from what I'm hearing, I think he's a dick, and then invariably, and I give them a chance. I always give them an objective chance. I don't come into it like, I think this guy's going to be an asshole, so clearly he is one. And I'll meet them, and ultimately, they'll either be cool, and I'll be corrected, which it never happens. And I'm almost always right when it comes to my judgment of others.
What do you think of the people in this room?
I was about to say, what about us, John? Don't answer
Well,
that. I don't want the listeners to
I don't
really
want to
know how
answer
you
that
feel.
because I don't want to arouse you on the air.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I think I'm in the
conversation.
room with a couple of pretty excellent dudes.
Yes.
I wish David was here.
Aw,
I'd love to watch
He's
him.
here in spirit.
I'd love to watch him react to anything that we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah. No, we'll
And hopefully we'll bring it up
back
again when he's around.
No, we
'cause
definitely will.
I want to hear his opinion on a lot of this.
And I asked the question and no one said it. What were your favorite cartoons growing up? Like, why did we skip this?
Oh,
Okay, so
good segue.
yeah.
Thank you.
We can break, by the way.
Anything where they had a lot of leather in the cartoon. No, I'm just kidding.
And that's the break, ladies and gentlemen. Disney, growing up, cartoons and things like that. I really think they just fucked up a lot of relationships for people.
Oh my god!
I'm not gonna lie.
Since
Like,
like
absolutely.
1930, they've been fucking it up for everybody.
It gives these horrible expectations of like, oh, this is what true love is. And
And they wrap it around like beautiful, cute little songs. I know you will fuck this relationship up, is what.
right? It's like you're talking to animals. This happens nowadays. You're going to fucking loony bin, fucking Snow White. Bye.
Lay off the opium, princess.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the hell on out of it, man.
I mean, look, if you were basically enslaved by an evil stepmother and you weren't into that sort of thing.
Oh, is that a king for somebody?
This little
potentially?
kid guy, probably.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of horns about stepmoms, bro.
Oh,
I've jerked out to a handful of them today.
that's a whole
Jesus.
podcast there.
Handful?
Also. A handful, a whole handful.
Nice. Nice.
No, nobody, nobody. Is this what I'm
and
going to
then-
do for myself? No. Okay.
I didn't think it was a bad thing.
I thought it was
actually
laughing.
really
Was I not
complimentary.
laughing? Did I make
mean,
a
was
different noise?
laughing.
I don't know. You guys were mildly chuckling and then looking at me awkwardly, so I felt a little insecure.
It just means we accept you as one of our own.
Thank you.
I could understand, wanting to dip into a little bit of the opium, maybe drink a little bit of the absinthe to kind of chill the F out if all you do all day is clean up after your evil stepmother and don't get any, of the nookie for it, I guess.
What do you think those pets were there for?
How many of those mice were actually gerbils?
Oh my God.
Oh my god.
And ruining.
you can never watch that again now.
Yeah, there's a lot of Disney fans out there going,
I mean, here's the thing though. Disney kind of did their own fucking
Jesus
weird
doesn't
kinky
like what
things.
he said.
I mean, they did their own kinky stuff. Like they're
Yeah.
in the Little Mermaid cut. I think they've gone back since and tried to edit it
yeah.
out. But
Oh,
the
the
priest,
the
at
penis-
the
So let's
he
just-
straight up gets a boner.
so
Like,
let's
Penis
erase
castle?
this boner, the penis castle,
The penis
on the
castle on
cover.
the
I mean,
cover.
they're
Yep.
notorious for adding
take off your
anything.
clothes was in Aladdin. Aladdin whispers it.
Mufasa, with
the
the
sex in
sex in the sand.
And
Not the
best-
sand,
It was in the flowers.
flowers
When
that-
it's
yeah,
when
we-
Simba, when he's older, he kind
Do
of
you
like
guys know
plops
there's a
down.
lady in The Rescuers, the first Rescuers, where she's in the
There's
window and her
she's
titties, her
nude.
titties
There's a
in there,
straight
just
up
like one
nude
frame over
poster
there.
Well,
as they fly.
cartoons weren't originally for children.
Well, this was Disney's The Rescuers, which
Yeah,
is like
the very
about
first one.
That's for children. Yeah. but
No, all of these were for children.
yeah.
I mean, I just feel like those dudes were just like, I don't know, getting the whip from fucking Walt Disney. He's like, I'll fucking show that asshole. I'll show him. I'm going to put this in here and it's like this thing just for me.
Maybe they didn't like it. Maybe they did like it. Who knows? I mean, we've learned a lot about Kings tonight. They're actually, I don't think it's Disney. No, that'd be Universal, but, Harry Potter. In the credits of, I think, Prisoner of Azkaban or Goblet of Fire, one of the two, they have the Marauders map. And so like that shows people walking around. You see footprints and stuff. And in one corner in the credits, you see like a pair of footprints like one way, like the legs open. And then you see two footprints in between.
No.
And it is straight up supposed to be just a
Yeah.
couple just going to town.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's hilarious.
That's a nice little detail.
It's a small detail.
Subtle. Only it's like kids would miss it, but grown-ups.
Oh, kids would for sure. They'd be
There
like,
most
oh, that's
definitely
funny.
have to be Hufflepuff.
Why does that? I
I don't know. I just feel like Hufflepuffs, they're, they just.
Because it
huffing and
sounds like the
puffing, I
noise
guess.
They're-
that people
they're
make
sitting
when
there-
they're having sex.
Exactly. Just
sitting
huffing
there
and puffing.
huffing each other's puffles.
Exactly. It's exactly what it feels like.
How have we managed to ruin so many things in one night?
One
That's
night,
really
man. You know what it
impressive.
is? It's a sangria.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
It's a sangria. I'm not even going to blame
Easy
that.
to drink.
I think we're just broken humans. But, I mean, we were,
In vino veritas.
in vino veritas, indeed.
Yeah.
Fucking tombstone.
Oh yes.
No, we're not
No?
doing that. No, we were talking about, well, yeah, it is in Tombstone. But No, just the concept, we talked about earlier, these false standards that like these, Disney movies made, especially in this generation where kids grew up on them.
Yeah.
It's like you have to be this proper or this prim or you have to look like this.
And it's not just women either. I mean, and the fact that they think that, I think, is ridiculous.
Ooh.
And I don't mind saying
Hot
it.
topic, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch out! No, I think the fact that it's completely disregarded that men routinely got fucked up throughout their childhood too is completely overlooked. I think that we had standards set for us by society that has been drilled into us from the moment we could understand the English language all the way till now, that we have to behave certain ways, which is constantly a moving goalpost. Yeah. Which is fine. I get that because society changes. But, I'm just saying it's like nobody here is a unique snowflake. We all deal with the same shit.
Yeah.
And I think that gets routinely overlooked. And I think it's garbage.
Well, and I think it's difficult because, you grow up on these fantasy stories, right? As a kid, you want the white picket fence, you want the knight in shining armor, and you want the princess and all those things. But then as you start getting into a relationship, what tends to happen is that honeymoon phase kind of ends, right? Mm-hmm. And then the real person kind of shows up, and now it becomes, love isn't just an act, it's a choice.
Suddenly Prince Charming's coming home, taking off his shirt and just sitting on a recliner with his wife beater.
Right.
Asking for more ale.
Exactly. Like I want to see. I want
more ale.
Yeah.
What year was this?
Well, it's fucking fantasy,
It's
right?
fantasy, exactly. I mean,
He's not going to be like.
Why can't
He's
he
not
get
going to be
grog
like
then? Why
fucking
would you
Cinderella
choose
bitch.
ale?
Get me a Corona.
Why would it be ale? Why could it be like grog or something that sounds?
it could be
Mead.
whatever you want to get fucked up on.
Mead,
Matt.
yes,
Jesus.
thank you.
Mead's
No one had
tasty.
a fucking ale back in the day.
Well, Prince Eric was like, I want wine.
He's like
what
Cinderella.
he fucking
Get
did.
that stupid mouse to bring me another beer.
Yeah. I mean,
That would have been fucking awesome.
Right? Coming in, beating the mice a little bit,
Smack around. Where's my food?
because their little
you
mouse
little
toys
fucks?
are, in the living room.
she learns it from her own stepmom. You know what I mean? It's passing down.
Cinderella
those
comes
traits.
in. She's got a kid on one hip, a kid on the other hip. She's pregnant again.
I know. And
There was an artist, by the way, that did these kind of like
right.
after the
Like Trailer Park Disney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think they'd be hilarious.
Was it like Ariel and she was like shooting up or something?
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, you got Snow White
Edgy
dressed
stuff.
as like Rosie the Riveter with like a wife beater on and then holding like 6 kids around her or some shit like that. She has tattoos.
That's exactly how the reality would have been. I think Disney, if you guys are listening, you know what the next move is now? You need to make like a polyamorous princess.
Oh, interesting.
That
Shows
could-
tons of family value.
Absolutely. Fuck your family. How about that?
They would never go for something like
I
that.
know
Are
they
you
absolutely
saying
never.
that polyamorous people don't have value in their family?
No. I'm
Here's the
talking
thing.
about
No one can see
Disney's
it.
interpretation of what family
No
value
one
is.
could
save.
see
Good
it.
save.
But Sean was fucking giggling to himself as he was getting ready to ask it.
Yeah, it was a little
He
teeter.
knew it was a good one.
What did you mean,
Gary on the
Gary?
fucking spot.
Yeah, what did you mean, Gary?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think it would be rough to portray, but I don't know. I mean, once again, it's kind of those shifting dynamic you're talking about yourself. Like, societal standards are always shifting. Would there ever come a point where that would be, not to say that it's not okay nowadays, but I feel like it does get a bad rap from people.
It gets a bad rap, but it is becoming more normalized.
Yeah.
Not that it is in any way, shape, or form actually normal. It is still looked down upon by a good many people.
Right.
But there's at least more content out there. Because, I mean, I don't want to compare it to too many other things, but I've mentioned before how being poly is just as much a part of your sexuality as whether or not you like men or women. It is part of who you are, and you don't make somebody poly. You can't turn somebody poly. It's either in them to be that way, and if they pursue it, they might open that part up in themselves. But I'm not going to say that you can't learn to be that way or change yourself fundamentally enough to do that. But if you are poly, it is a part of you. It's not just a thing you chose to do. It's like you don't choose to be gay. And I'm, sorry, alphabet people, but this is alternative lifestyles.
I'm telling you,
we're
that
included.
took me a second to process. Sorry, alphabet people.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah, to quote the great Chappelle, I love his theory on alphabet people. If you haven't seen it, you need to.
I feel like I've seen most of his
Dave
stand-up.
Chappelle. It was like not his last special, but the special before or something.
I thought I saw that one.
And he's going off about how like the LGBTQ PGFZW
Elemental P.
Yeah, I mean, he just converts it to the alphabet people, and I think that's great.
It's all encompassing. It's like,
I mean, like I've got, I'm accepting of all people. I don't care what you want to do or how you choose to be. I support you. Be happy. It's a modern world. I don't judge. I only judge people who judge other people. And so, in that regard, being non-monogamous is just as much a part of who you are as your sexual preference or your gender identity or whatever it is you identify as.
I think it's so interesting because, that's, like you say, is kind of built into you. And people would demonize people for living like that. Like,
Absolutely.
they'd be like, you are wrong, you're broken. Like all these normal, but like all these kind of really aggressive words to describe.
I've been all but physically attacked for it.
Have you really?
Yeah, no, not actually physically attacked, but I've had people get really upset with me.
Like, but where are these people? Who the fuck were these people? Like, who just comes over and is like, I want to tell you my opinion?
Well, it's usually people who have a moment of curiosity when they see, you're spending time with multiple people, and they're like, "Does your girlfriend know what you're doing?" And it's like,
God, what a fucking dickhead thing to say.
They start white knighting.
What a bunch of fuck all you white knights out there who are listening to. Go
you know what? It's fine. They ask you the question, like, what's going on, and I don't mind answering. You know what? You want to find out more? I'll tell you.
Yeah. Subscribe to my
I am
YouTube channel.
Perfectly fine educating somebody to a degree until I realize that they need a different kind of education, which is usually the kind on how to interact with other grown adults. Somebody will bring it up, and it's almost always, I just couldn't do that to my partner. I can't see how you could do that to your partner. It's like I'm not doing anything to them. This is how we are both happy. Like this is something we experience as a team. We approach this lifestyle, and if I may say so, I think it makes us stronger than a lot of monogamous relationships. Boom. I'm just going to go ahead and drop that bomb.
You heard it here first.
Our communication is top notch.
I believe that.
And it has to be.
It seems like it has to
Absolutely,
be solid.
it is.
Solid.
First,
can't hide behind anything.
And foremost, you have to be a good communicator. You cannot not talk about your shit with your partner and expect it to be a successful thing if you're going to be
Can I
non-monogamous.
fast forward through some of the conversation though?
Sure.
There's some parts I don't want to hear.
No, I mean, and that's what you work out with your partner. That's part of the communication. Be like, I don't want to hear, don't describe the ball slapping sound, but I'm happy that you had a good time.
Yeah. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm
Don't make the macaroni sounds for me, when you're describing this, but, I personally don't care. But some people are just comfortable knowing a little bit, like saying, I'll ask you and then let me know.
Yeah.
And as long as the information's available, then that's enough. And that's okay. What I think is unhealthy is when you're like, you can do what you want, but do not let me find out about it.
Yeah, because that's one of those things. It's almost like, in horror
It's
films,
a trap.
like you don't see the monster. It's much worse in your head.
Right.
Like, you know
absolutely.
that person's going out, but if you don't know, you're thinking they're just going to do all the worst things possible.
And I 100% had that problem when I first started delving into being non-monogamous. And this has always been a part of me, and I think I struggled a long time leading up to when I finally accepted it, because I was routinely trying to be in monogamous relationships and not doing well with it. And
what was the fail point though?
I don't really know that I had a fail point per se, as so much as I just had I was going from one relationship into another, and I just decided that going forward, I wasn't going to be monogamous anymore. And I wasn't going to be with people who wouldn't also be non-monogamous.
I mean, I think what Gary was kind of getting at was like, was there a common factor in when you were trying to be monogamous? Like, was it just you felt unfulfilled in some capacity?
Yes.
Or so that's what it was. You just didn't.
One way I describe it, actually, there's two major ways that I describe it. So if you have family members that you love, or if you have kids or something, right? You have a kid and you love that kid, and that's your child, and you have all this love, and you give it to them unconditionally, but it doesn't make you love your partner any less. And then if you have another kid, you don't divide your love in between the two kids, and now that kid only gets half or 3/4, and this one gets 1/4 of my love or something like that. That's not how many non-monogamous people work. Polyamorous people specifically just make more love. And their heart grows and accepts new people into it. And those people occupy their very own space in one's heart without conflicting with anyone else. They shine in their own light. They have their own connection with you. And it doesn't detract from how much you love the other person.
I don't believe it.
Here's the thing, and I do not want to shit. This is going to sound like I'm shitting on it. And
No,
I'm
it's
really
fine.
not trying to. But you said, it makes their heart grow bigger. And all I could think of was the Grinch. And like, so I was like, would the Grinch
heart
be
grew.
polyamorous?
He met somebody and his heart grew 3 sizes.
And then he met another one and it grew 4 sizes. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But Gary clearly does not believe in that.
And I mean,
whatever.
a lot of people are
I
naysayers.
think people can do it. This is my thing. I think people can do it. I don't know if I'm one of those people.
Are you conflating time and love?
I'm not that smart to comprehend what you just asked.
So a lot of people do this. And this is why I'm asking, this is why I'm being very specific, because most people hear that a polyamorous person can love more than one person just as much as another person. And they go, I don't see that as possible, because how are you supposed to give them enough time? And time and attention
I see.
are separate from love.
No, I don't think that. I think quality time is time.
Quality time is the only thing that's finite.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, time being finite, be smart.
Yeah.
Be with people who can feel fulfilled with the amount of time you have to give them.
Right. Well, and I can understand all that. I think just for myself, the hardest part is I don't trust very easily.
Neither do I.
I mean, it's so difficult. For me to really try to lean into multiple relationships and all that stuff. I put 18 years into my relationship with my wife right now. You know what I mean? And we're just getting to a good place where it's like working really fucking good.
I mean, that's
you
on,
know what I'm
that's,
saying?
but that's how much of that is just on you, though.
What do you, I mean, I'm
not trying to throw you.
No.
I'm not trying to throw you under a bus.
Yeah, totally right. Honey, you're gonna love this one.
I want you to be real with yourself about it. Like, how much of that inability or that slow to trust aspect of who you are is really just maybe wrapped up in the bad experiences,
the bullshit stories or whatever they are. I think it's a multitude of things.
bullshit stories or fear.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's all encompassed.
And how much of that is actually the fault of your partner?
None of it, but I do think that she's dealing with whatever she's dealing with.
Sure.
Right? I mean, it's not one way, right? When you choose to get into a relationship with somebody, there's you're choosing to confront their baggage also, their insecurities, their, all those types of things. And I think for us, we kind of grew through those things together.
Right.
And it takes work. It takes a lot of work to kind of have that, to have the level of love and intimacy and trust.
And being poly takes that much more work.
This is the honest truth, guys. I'm too lazy to do this with another person.
I can respect that.
I can respect that too.
That's it.
100%. If you don't have the ability to put in the effort, don't do it, because all you're going to do is hurt people. That includes yourself. And you need to make sure that first and foremost that you look out for your core existence, and that's you and your wife.
And my wife, yeah.
And if you ever got to a point where you felt, hey, I could put enough, effort into another human being, like I could put more than a cat's worth of effort into another person, and maybe get some more fulfillment out of my life and be comfortable with my partner doing the same thing, then that's different. But if you can ask yourself that question and you can't honestly, if you either can't answer it, or if the answer is, I don't really have that much effort for another person. Like right now, I don't have another partner because frankly, I'm a little too selfish with my time. I mean, there are people who I have been with who I would love to bring back into my life, but I know that I can't give them what they need. And I would feel terrible if I asked them to basically just be there and wait around for me to be available, when I have other things that I need to take care of.
I think that takes a lot of, like you said, communication. But I think people would I don't want to say they'd shit on the community lifestyle, but you'll find those people who will be like, you need therapy, you're broken, all this stuff. But from the sounds of it, you sound like you're very intelligent, emotionally intelligent. If you can sit there and say that statement of like, I can't call on them because I know that I can't reciprocate, that implies a lot of emotional intelligence.
For sure.
Which is not a very common thing nowadays.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people would jump into this kind of idea of like, you know what, I'm poly, not knowing really what that truly means. And it's just because you want to go fuck other people without losing the safety of your relationship, the safety of
that's one of that is a very common problem too, is that people will go, well, I think I want to be poly, but they don't really want to be poly. They just want the right to go screw other people
without losing
losing their safety net.
What would you call that?
A pussy?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think that's chicken
Not
shit.
a pussy per se, but somebody that's very emotionally weak.
I think that's somebody who is manipulating a lifestyle to suit their need for promiscuity. And I don't think that there is anything wrong with needing to be promiscuous. In fact, I encourage it. I think that as long as you're being safe and you're not hurting anybody, do whatever the hell you want to do. But you need to consider the other people. And if your partner or whatever you call the person you're with, or if you're married or whatever, if your partner isn't on the same level as you, you're inevitably and invariably going to end up hurting somebody.
Yeah. I mean, the closest thing that I could probably ever think of doing in my lifetime would be like going to one of those like weird resorts where like everybody kind of just goes and hangs out and it's like a weekend type of thing. Like, exactly. And then you kind of just show up, you have a good time,
Typically what you're talking about, you being comfortable with is being a swinger.
Because then I could it's a one night fucking interaction, and
it's
then
not even necessarily an open relationship.
No, it's just like we go, we have a lot of fun. Me and my wife, we soft swap, do whatever, and then
you have that experience, and then you close it,
and then you close it down, and then you maybe do it again next year, whatever,
which is really good. And as long as again you have like tip top communication, you can do that and get fulfillment in what you need for life experience and that kind of need for more promiscuity in your life.
Sure.
Which again, super healthy.
Yeah.
Even though many people will disagree with me on that.
It depends.
I don't feel
that's because they fucking watch Disney. So.
Well, I don't think that Christian values belong in the bedroom because. I'm just gonna go ahead and put that out there.
Get him.
I think that God's place is at church. If you want to do that, that's cool. That's up to you. But there's nothing that you do in the bedroom that is holy.
God is
even if he or she is yelling out, oh God. It is not.
He's like, I am not watching this. I know what you guys are doing. His hands are over his own eyes.
I didn't make those for licking that.
Then you shouldn't have fucking made them.
Right? Yeah. Why'd you make them so tasty then?
God was the first one that says, you know what? I made all this beautiful stuff and they found fucking ways to make dicks out of it. Like we as human beings will find the most creative ways to make a dick or some tits or, you know what I mean? Something. Sure. I mean, look at my bathroom. My bathroom
nice. That clock is fantastic.
I got a dick clock in there. I have an asshole curtain. I have watercolor pussies on the wall and I have a tit rug. Come on.
It's amazing.
I mean,
it really is.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, you really hit it all. I'm not going to
lie. I'm just saying. And then we have like a nice little green plant.
For those of you who haven't been
in... green little plant.
A green little plant for accent.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
For those of you who haven't been in Gary's bathroom, it is incredibly...
appropriate.
It is just absolutely covered in genitalia.
There was a bit of me that was thinking about putting a glory hole behind the bathroom door. So the moment you sit down and close the door, you just look at it and just one giant glory hole right in there.
Maybe put like a silicone dick hanging off of it, so it's just flopping when you close the door.
Boom. Oh,
that's
really
almost
fun. Make that your toilet paper roller.
Oh, that'd be really funny.
That's almost as bad as that whole like Jeff Goldblum's watching you poop poster. Does everybody have that shit?
No, I've never seen that.
It's usually of him from The Fly when he's like staring.
Oh, that's a weird one.
Yeah, someone would put that like I remember they did in the college.
See the GIF, or there was a loop on YouTube for a while. Oh my God. With him laying on his side, shirt off, staring
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, and him going for the clip from Jurassic Park, must go faster. Must go faster, and just on loop, and it's just Jeff Goldblum is watching you poop. Must go faster. Must go faster.
That's pretty
great.
solid.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys know that the creator of Wonder Woman, the actual character for the comics, his name is William Milton.
Nice,
right?
Terrible name.
Yeah, William Milton Marston.
So it's William Marston.
William
Bill
Marston.
Marston.
He was actually in a polyamorous relationship.
I did not know that.
Really?
He had 2 partners. One was his wife, who was Elizabeth Halloway Marston, and then his other partner was Olive Byron. And so they actually made a movie about this, and it was him creating the character of Wonder Woman, who is an amalgamation of the 2 partners that he actually
Sweet.
had.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet, but it's something that's on my queue to watch, and so it just kind of I was remembering that, and so I'm kind of curious to see what that relationship.
I would love
was
to hear
like.
a feminist opinion right now because I'm pretty sure they'd be up in arms potentially.
I don't know. I mean,
I know a lot of polyamorous feminists. Then again, I don't know. I mean,
here's the thing that confused me about feminism.
I don't mean feminists like the stereotypical ones that you see everywhere who are like, up in arms about men having the right to do anything. I mean like actual feminists who are just for
I'm
women
definitely
being
talking
equal to
about
men.
The stereotypical ones.
Yeah, you're talking about like third wave or fourth wave or neo-femme or whatever.
Well, yeah, because I guess The Mandalorian, the TV show, like they just had one and they had female like bounty hunters that were wearing the Mandalorian armor.
Sure.
But they were made they had boobs. Like they like.
Yeah, but you know what?
But like women, like feminists, like the third wave
got
were
angry?
up in arms about it.
Why did
It was
they
like,
get angry?
Why do we need to conform to male society? And someone commented, they're like, I don't know, because maybe you don't have to wear a flat-chested thing and make yourself feel fucking uncomfortable in the future. And you can just be
You
a
have
woman.
mass there. There's something there you need to conform to. I mean, chop them off if you don't want them.
Ooh, it's easy answer.
know.
Painful, but easy.
I mean,
easy.
Obviously, don't use an axe. Maybe call a doctor. But if you
I like
want
how you
to,
put a maybe in there, like
maybe
just in case you do.
like I said, if you're not hurting anybody else, do you? And by I mean go fuck yourself.
I'm just getting
But no, I mean,
My man.
people getting up in arms about. First off, I watched that episode, and the armor is not like. Oh, it's not like fucking Batman's armor where there's fucking nipples on it.
Yeah,
and you
barely
can see
noticeable.
every fucking ridge and contour of what should
Right.
be the fucking male physique. No, it was literally it had a it had a broader part on the chest so that you could fit boobs in it.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
It was
Nothing
functional.
else.
It was absolutely functional.
It didn't, and it was just straight down to the waist. It didn't like contour under the breast or anything like that. It didn't look like boobs. It looked like a fucking wedge. It looked like something you crammed under a door to keep it open. It was not a thing. It's a big fat nothing burger. People are just looking for something to be mad about.
And that's the shittier part, man. People are just trying to find anything to bitch about.
Well, no, not only that, they want to find something to bitch about, but they will also just hop on a bandwagon of bitching. Like going back to a much earlier thing, Nickelback. They are not terrible.
I mean,
They're not as deserving of
admittedly,
this hatred.
I love bitching about Nickelback.
Right. But as long as you
It's
actually
just
don't like
camaraderie.
them,
I mean,
that's fine.
That is a guilty pleasure.
Because the
of
problem
mine.
is that like people will just bitch about something because someone else is bitching about it. And they want to be like, oh yeah, I want to fit in. I don't like that either. Like, bro, get a fucking opinion. You
See,
fucking
I was
twat.
always that dude in fucking school that was like, oh, you like blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I do like that. And they're just like, you're fucking weird. And I'm just like, well, you're weird for not liking it. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, because you have a strong foundation. Nowadays, like people can just sit behind a laptop or whatever, the computer, wherever you are, and just talk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no repercussions.
super
There's
warrior.
nothing. And that also leaves way for them. Like, yeah, they think they fit in. They feel cool. Problem is, you're not forming an opinion that is truly your own. Like, you are just doing it to appease people you don't and will never meet.
Ever.
Yeah, like, so what do you gain from this?
And who are you offended for? Are you really offended or are you trying to be offended for somebody
That
else?
is
Well, and
another-
then that's a callback to that Bill Burr thing, right?
Yeah.
About
Yeah.
white women being able to hijack any movement because they're sitting there feeling sorry or acting like they're
But my question
offended
becomes,
for somebody else.
My question becomes where the people, I haven't seen The Mandalorian. I'm waiting for the whole season to end so I can just binge it really fast. So bear in mind, the people that were talking shit about this particular kind of breastplate or whatever, were they women saying it or was it female, or you know what I'm
Male
saying?
feminists?
Female feminists.
Worst kind of
Wow,
person.
you are just struggling with that, though.
It's
male
This sangria
feminist.
kicked in and I can barely talk right now.
Sangria de pato.
Quack.
It's actually very tasty for anyone who wants to try it.
Oh, it's really good. We'll
You
give
can
you
have
the
ours,
recipe.
Yeah.
You can make your own.
Yeah.
But I've not.
My
heard-
question still holds though.
Would you call a male feminist a white knight?
I think it's the lowest form of white knighting.
Yeah,
I don't think that. I
It's
don't
the
think
physical
it's
form of a cuck. Like straight up.
No,
Like cuckold,
no,
they
completely
get
different.
cuckolded.
I don't
feel
actually
like
like
weirdest fucking thing
demonizing.
to me.
I don't.
Yeah, I
don't
think like
actually
cuckold, that's a kink. Like some people actually really enjoy that.
I think that's kink shaming.
Way to go,
get-
Gary.
I
You
get-
fucking kink
I
shamer.
So
get-
sorry, so
I-
sorry. If you guys really enjoyed that, I apologize.
I get the meaning behind it, like the what they're trying to say when they say that. But I've known very good men, very strong men who are men's men. They go hunting. They hold down like high-powered jobs.
Yeah.
They are like manly men who are really into watching their wives get screwed by other dudes.
Sounds like they're overcompensating.
They really like being cuckolded.
But yeah, they enjoy seeing the pleasure in the other person.
Well,
right?
not just that, but cuckolding is a little more than that.
Excuse me? Excuse me? What do you mean?
So
Excuse me?
part of cuckolding, well, not necessarily, but it can include a little bit of humiliation on the role of the cuck.
Yeah.
So it's the wife going,
don't do good
you
with
know, watch
humiliation.
this happen and things like that. So
So much
Do you
better
like
than
it
you.
when he blah blah blahs in my mouth?
yeah, when he
Why is it
when he
blah,
blah
blah,
blahs in
blahs?
my do.
Exactly. I don't
Is this a new song breaking out for 2021?
Yeah,
blah, blah,
right,
blah,
blah,
my
blah.
do.
Oh God, somebody,
Please, somebody make that song.
please
comments,
auto
please,
tune
you know.
Gary. Please auto tune this into a song.
Blah, 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 and my do.
I want-
You've heard it. Put
I
it
want
on
this
loop.
to be
Put
the
it
next
out for the
thing.
fucking world.
I'm telling you, that's the
So
title
much
of this
I'm
episode.
begging.
Oh my God.
Do you like it when I blah, 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 and yo do.
So yeah, and I mean, I've known again. It all comes back to that ability to just kind of release and not be in control, not be in charge. And from what I've seen, it can be like the effect of a 2-week vacation in the span of an hour.
Interesting.
It is a complete and total release for people who gain something out of it.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly healthy. So I don't like using the
Yeah, you don't like to demonize.
I don't like demonizing the word cuck. That said, it is, like I said, the lowest form of white knighting. I think that feminism on its own, like in a vacuum, isn't necessarily a good thing. I think that equality is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And so before you guys fry me out there for saying feminism isn't a good thing, don't take it out of context.
But they're going to.
They're going to. I'm so
they
canceled
need
already.
to.
Fuck it. But the point is, equality is the most important thing. You know, we are all humans and we all have our own strengths and differences, and that's fine, and those should be celebrated. And I didn't turn off my ringer. I'm that guy. And I've never changed
it.
my text sound.
Read it, Sean.
Fuck, I'm in class.
You're gonna
You wanna
have to
share
read
with
it.
the rest of the class?
What does it say, Sean?
It says, hold on, it's from Gary. Do you like it when I blah, blah, blah in your do?
2021, everybody.
Do you like it, Gary, when I blah, blah, blah in your do?
Going back to your question, I don't know if it actually is like male feminists or it's actually just like feminists from a third generation. The only, I heard about it. The only post I saw was, take it with a grain of fucking salt because no one knows what Twitter accounts are really the person.
They're probably
what-
Russians anyway, just stirring the pot.
yeah, now they're going to stir the pot after. Sure.
I don't know.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, they're all sitting there, chill regular ski. Chill ski regular
Oh my fuck.
in Soviet Russia.
I fucking hope they hear this. They're
Yeah,
like,
Chill regular
They're
you.
These guys are funny. Yes, I like them.
I like these silly Americans.
See, here's for any Russians listening. Sean was thinking about putting wine into a watermelon instead of vodka. What are your thoughts?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Leave your comments below.
They're gonna skew my next election now.
No,
Fuck.
no.
Damn it. You guys should just help us get better views on our YouTube
did I show
channel.
you guys? Did I send that meme to the group text with
Morpheus?
the Gollum Trump post?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it's like they stole it from me.
That's pretty great. No, but you should send
Yeah,
that.
they're like Trixie Biden's his.
Stupid Democrats, they stole it from me.
It's like
That's
that.
really good.
Let me.
That was really good. I enjoyed
Pull
just
this
watching
up.
you make the faces associated with it too.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
here it is.
You're
It's called Gollum J Trump. It's a Twitter account. Gary, could you please do me a favor and read that
Jesus
in the Gollum
Christ.
voice?
Oh my God. This is a good one.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Gary in the role of Gollum J Trump.
Nasty, tricksy Lexington, just so dirty, so false.
So false.
Ghost versus and verse sets off on bursts. Bah! Very unfair. Very, very unfair to the precious. We needs it. We needs the win. We declares we do. Please do, nasty little Biden fools us. He fools us.
How much spit do you have in your mouth?
So much. That was amazing.
I would just love that as it got. I half expect to see just a chunk of spit just fly out of my mouth.
We're both getting ready to dodge a loogie flying across.
I don't know if we're gonna dodge that. That's like fucking tsunami
It's
level.
coming. Yeah, it's coming
That
both
was
sides.
aggressive. That was great though. Well done.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Why did you play that?
Wrong
We were
one. No, it's the canned
complimenting you.
shearing.
I don't.
I think it's the red one, blue one. Blue one.
Not the blue one.
That blue one.
Not that one.
Oh, that's not it.
Why would you push it if you knew that wasn't it?
Well,
You chode.
Ladies and gentlemen, we know what we're doing.
we were professionals at this. It's I readjusted the soundboard, so that's why.
You readjusted it and you still don't know where everything is?
Dude,
Well,
hey,
I gotta
you gotta,
put. I gotta
you gotta,
put.
Fucking chongas.
you got a label maker?
I do.
Use it.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
Hey, ASMR. Use the fucking label maker.
Fine, you use a label maker.
what?
jerks.
Why is he using it?
I
It's your
don't
fucking
know.
thing, dude.
I actually don't have a
the
label
label
maker. I just have Post-it notes.
Just cut him in half. What are we talking about?
So much work.
Oh my god.
So much work, sis.
So much work, sis.
Tricksy labor.
Oh man, Gollum Trump is probably now my favorite.
Gollum J. Trump. Make sure you go and check it out. I don't know if it's an actual thing, but it's a pretty fantastic meme.
I enjoyed the reading.
Well, gentlemen, I think we did it. On that note, I think we're going to call it out for the evening. Thank you, Sean, for bringing the sangria over. It was absolutely delicious. What is actually in the recipe real fast for those of you guys that were listening?
So, sangria de pato.
That means duck.
It means blood of the duck.
That's like the emphasis. Duck.
Yeah,
that means-
pato is duck. That's my very bad way of pronouncing pato. It's like pato.
Nice.
But
Say it in your most sexiest Spanish voice.
el pato.
No, I mean, I'm hard.
Ooh. All right.
It's working its way.
I need a little like Spanish guitar behind that editor.
Da-da-ding.
Yeah, this I kind of came up with on my own. It's like my twist on sangria. I call it sangria de pato, and it is about 3 parts red wine, something like a Merlot, something sweet but not too sweet. It's a good base. 1 part tonic, and I put in several chunks of pineapple and watermelon.
That is one of the best parts.
And normally you're supposed to let sangria sit for like 1 to 6 hours, depending on how much you want it to mix together, and you serve it chilled. I just kind of let the temperature of the ingredients speak for themselves, and I serve it fresh, and I just drink it slowly. And it gets sweeter the longer you drink it.
I don't know how you do that. I couldn't drink it slowly. I just downed it.
Well, I mean, you can do that too.
Yeah.
And then you have this delicious wine and tonic soaked fruit. Like when I bit into the watermelon, it actually held on to the carbonation of the tonic. So it was like carbonated watermelon.
That actually is true. I
Which
can confirm.
I thought was super cool. The only downside is after the pineapple has been sitting in it for a while, you can't tell the difference upon first glance between the chunks of pineapple and chunks of watermelon, but you figure it out quick.
Real quick. Well, thank you regardless, Sean. And thank you guys for listening. You guys stuck through this whole entire conversation. We're very grateful. And if you guys
absolutely fantastic.
like us enough, make sure you guys like and subscribe, do all those things. Even leave a comment if you want. Thumbs
Even if you
up.
didn't like it. If you have an
tell us-
opinion that you disagree with,
Thumbs
please, by
down.
all means.
Tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah. And so until next time, guys, we're out.
Adios.
Wonderful trip. Try not to let your pretty little heart skip beats.